Welcome everybody to the Gecko Pod, episode 72. We are talking about pixels today on our Morph Chat segment series. My name is Harry with Zero's Geckos. We have AJ Davidson, AJD Reptiles, and
Hello.
as always, we have Anthony and Jess at Lil Monster Reptiles. So it's at lm.reptiles. How you guys doing? You guys good?
Good.
Everybody's
stoked.
good. We are a podcast that talks about the hobby. We talk about breeding. We talk about morphs, and we try to share knowledge as much as we can. And hopefully, you guys can gain a little bit of knowledge from this episode. And we're all just collectively learning together, and hopefully, we can continue to further our projects and all these things and learn together. So excited to have you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Anthony and Jess.
Good
Everybody good? AJ, good?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, excited to talk about pixels. I think this one's kind of been a little bit overdue. I think that Pixel kind of had like a moment, maybe like a year ago, and then, people kind of started working on them, but there wasn't a ton of stuff coming out. But now we have a bunch of, you'll see today, we have a bunch of examples of people that are popping them out and, some reports of kind of how things are going. So
So thank you guys, whomever submitted pixel pictures. I know it was last minute. It was only like 5 hours ago. So we got a handful of collection of pictures that are possible pixels, and we'll talk about that. And thank you, Anthony and Jess, for loading up the screen board as usual. You basically did all the work, and AJ and I just showed up. So it's great.
Heck yeah, no worries.
That's not special.
Okay, so let's start with the definition of pixel and start from scratch. What is it? What are we working with here? How long have we known about it? Things like that.
AJ, how long have we known about it? When did it come out? A year and a half ago? 2 years ago?
When was it actually kind of like named? Yeah, probably like a year and a half or 2 years ago.
Right. And then I think it came mostly from Crested Geckos, right?
Was that the origin of the name of Pixel?
I thought maybe it was.
AC?
It's a Tinkerline project is what it started with.
But then when did the word pixel come up?
I thought it was them that kind of coined it initially, right?
I feel like everyone who started with it started with a gecko that had a pixelation or pixely look to it. So everyone named that gecko Pixel.
Yeah.
So if you see, like, multiple people will have a pixel in their
collection.
I'm sure we'll get in the comments. We'll probably get the actual origin story. So somebody named it Pixel. Look in the comments. I'm sure it'll be there as far as to where that came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're quite varied in appearance, which we'll see here in a little bit. But
we know some of the big breeders that have them are AC, right? We know Crested Geckos has been working with it. And I think she said her original pairing was from Pangea. So we know
Pangea has them too.
Pangea
has them.
They even sell them on the website right now, right? They have sold for sale.
Yeah.
Who else are the big people of pixels that we know about? Do we know? Or is that it?
I think that's it for major big giant breeders.
Yeah, that have like decent numbers of them.
Yeah.
But Crested Geckos they don't sell a lot of them right now, do they? Are they mainly just kind of building their project out?
Yeah,
I think they held it back quite a bit.
She held back quite a bit. I think
in order to produce more.
Eventually, we'll chat with her, but I think she mentioned that she's only made like 9 visual pixels, and so because she held back a lot of stuff from last season, so she's still working on it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But so how would we define it? Would you define it kind of as having holes in the pattern? And
it definitely makes holes in the pattern, or makes the pattern like small little blotches, right? So that it appears like there's holes in between them. But whatever it's doing, it's definitely shattering or trying to break apart the pattern. And then anything that is basically aligned with the gecko, right, vertically, won't have a perfect line. So like if you have like a pinstripe pixel, it'll start to break up that pinstriping and put like holes into the edges of it. So it'll look like something's nibbling away at it. Like acid's just melting it away, basically.
Yeah.
Or like
chunks of it are falling off, like a zombie.
Is anyone calling it static? Because doesn't when like you used to watch TV and then the cable would go out and then it's just like all like. Psh.
Well, you better flame it now. That's
Static.
one of your new lines. Static.
Jess, that's your line. Static line.
Static. I like that. That's pretty.
Anthony and Jess, do you guys have the pixel definition on Foundation Genetics, or not yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I want to get more breeders involved. Like me, I like doing articles with collaboration, not just me by myself, because then it kind of helps make everything kind of cohesive and everybody's talking the same language. So I have a group of people in mind. I've already reached out to them. So we're probably going to come and get something together, build an article, and then kind of start some framework around that.
Okay, cool. So TBD, it'll show up sometime.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's show some Should we show some pictures of some pixels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a look at them.
So this is the board that Anthony put together. Looking good.
Start more on the top left.
Okay, here we go.
So this is stuff from Krusty Works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is their Tinkerland project.
So the original pair is Tinker and Buddha.
Yep. And then you can see some of the offspring below that were produced.
Yeah. Okay.
So both parents are pixels. They created pixels.
Yep. And then further to that is a second generation of that, and those are the pairings to that and the outcome, those offspring. One of them hatched out kind of normal-ish looking right there that you can see on the side. But other than that, it looks like they're producing nearly 100% pixels, which is kind of cool.
Are we thinking they're, I mean, I know there's been talks about different variants of pixel. Is that something that you guys have seen? And do we know if it's recessive or incomplete dominant? Do we kind of nail that down yet, or we're still trying to figure that out?
I think everybody's kind of still working on that. Just like they just need a few more animals kind of to hatch to really like see how close we are to. But most people are currently starting to lean recessive because there's been so many reports of people outcrossing them to just any animal and not producing a single pixel. So that is a real common thing that I keep hearing over and over again. And then those that are pairing pixel to pixel are producing really high numbers, nearly 100%, all of them pixel. Now, what could be causing the non-pixels? Not 100% sure. Obviously, there's a lot of genes involved in the combos that people are using because you're getting like tangerine versions, you're getting white pattern versions, hypo versions. There's yellow-based versions, black-based versions.
Phantom versions.
Phantom.
Oh, well, yeah, phantom. Very few phantom versions. That's also interesting that there's very few phantoms. And like pixel looks like it'd be something closer to like a wild type. So you'd imagine there'd be a lot of pixels with phantom in it. But I'm kind of surprised that there isn't. So that is an interesting thing to note, which I thought was kind of surprised that there wasn't a lot of them.
No, Kristen provides you with a lot of pictures. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Her offspring are looking insanely nice, too. Yeah. They're very consistent with what everybody is calling pixel.
Seems to play really well with the orange. It looks nice with the orange.
Yeah, sure. Orange, it's really nice. Like the orange lavender ones. You've seen those? I think Pangea has a bunch of those, too.
Like Blimp right there in the middle.
Yeah, Blimp is like one of my favorites. The thing is killer. But you can tell, like, it's really interesting, like, the most iconic look, like Blimp, right? You're just dealing with a single color, right? So you're not stacking also white pattern or white walls and stuff like that, like you would imagine, or even lily to these. So you can imagine the potential for these animals has a long way to go.
Yeah. Once you add secondary color, you add white, you add other patterns. Yeah, because look at that, how much it breaks up the Harlequin pattern.
It shatters quite a bit. I mean, who knows what's going to happen when you start adding quads to it with white walls or, other tricolored animals that have like a whole bunch of other combo traits inside of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Blimp looks really similar to the ones that Pangea is working with right now, or the ones that he has available, or that color.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really close to the Tinker one, the Tinker female as well. So if it is recessive, she really nailed it here.
So she got both of those animals from Pangea, or what's the origin on Buddha?
Actually, I'm not 100% sure where Buddha came from. I should have asked.
So that animal's a het.
Is it a het? I'm not 100% sure or 100% convinced. Look at the patterning and color. Maybe it's just a lower expression.
I mean,
it doesn't have the typical look that Tinker does, but it kind of does have like a lot of freckling, right?
It does have a lot of freckling.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why she picked that gecko to breed with Tinker because of the similar look.
And then look at all the animals that she popped out of it.
Didn't she say that she had bred? No, has she bred Tinker to another male in the past?
I thought she said she did. I don't have a good memory right now because I'm so busy with projects. But if she did, then yeah, I'd like to see those offspring too.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if she had paired that female before and if she had made any animals.
So AJ, you're saying like this may or may not be Pixel. What are you seeing?
Well, I mean, if she, I'm saying like if we're talking about recessive inheritability, then if that's the pairing, then that animal would have to be a het. Yep. Since people are not seeing the interaction, myself and you and a bunch of other people, Harry, we're not making pixels from.
Normals.
When we do an outcross, when we breed a pixel to a normal, like a totally related or unconnected to that type of gene, you don't make any.
Correct.
So that's why I'm saying, just by rationale, just by reasoning, it would be that Buddha is a het. In theory,
I mean, So
going back to the visual. The other thing too is look at the progression pictures that she has below that as well for some of the animals.
Yeah,
I mean they hatch out looking pretty funky, straight out.
Yeah. Look at the tails on these ones right there in the double picture. They're very orange, which is kind of interesting.
I feel like Pixel, and I'm sure Harry, you've seen this too, but I swear that there's a lot of pixels that are mis-ID'd right now.
Yeah.
Like I swear 50 or 75% of the animals I see labeled as pixel on Instagram, I'm like, that's not a pixel.
Yeah. So I remember when we were, AJ and I, we kind of have a bit of a shared project with the pixel, but when we were kind of like dabbling a little bit and then jump into like the pixel group on Facebook, and then there were kind of like markers, like belly markers. Is that something that you still see at the Jess, or is that not something that we notice now, like a year later?
Belly markers on those,
or just in general, like what are some of the markers besides what you explained at first with kind of the speckling and the eating up of the pins? What are some other markers?
Breaking up the patterning, freckling, yes. Any pattern that has like really good contrast to it seems to be like it blots out. If you zoom in on some of these animals where you would see like nice round patterning, you'll see that it blots out. Like see how it breaks up and like it forms a really weird pattern, like it splats and then just kind of comes out like little fingers, Yeah.
And so is it from, AJ, from the stuff that, you kind of mentioned and that we see sometimes online, people saying like, oh, maybe it's a pixel, or some people even claiming some things are pixel. And we're like, I don't know if this is we'll send it to each other. Like, I don't know if this is a pixel. Right?
Yeah, I think that it just comes down to when people see like slightly unusual patterns, or if they see like that kind of that speckling that's in yellows or speckling that's in phantoms. They'll kind of mis-ID that as, that's pixel.
Got it.
Yeah. I have a bunch of animals that have that same look. A lot of holes in the patterning on a phantom yellow base animal.
Yeah,
all over the place. And like I breed those because I really like the freckling, but I haven't made any pixels out of them.
Yeah.
And the ones that I made pixels out of our own line, those animals date back to like 2007, 2008 animals, 2009 when I got them. And then one of them's an offspring from an 09 animal. So it genetically would trace back pretty far.
Oh.
What's up,
dog? Are you looking at the pup?
Harry's always looking at the pups.
They really wanted to be a part of this.
But the animals that I'm talking about, like they're hets. There's no way you can't see any pixel in them at all.
But you're saying animals that you bred together and made homozygous.
Yeah. We call them acids in our collection. So our acid animals do not look pixel. The hets anyway.
Let's look at some of those. I love the Phantom one, man.
Okay, so your stuff is named.
Awesome. That's it. Out of the hatch, it's red, and then reddish in color, and then an hour later, that's
awesome, man.
silver.
It looks like a freaking salamander.
Dude, it looks weird. I know. When I saw it, I was like, "What
is that a super cap? What is that?"
Oops, I moved it.
No,
sorry.
Don't be rude.
Sorry, I moved it. Wait, how long ago is this? How big is it now? Right here?
That's it right there below. Yeah, that's more updated picture.
Okay, this is
like
so it's yellow.
Yeah, it's yellow. Even the sibling is.
The sibling's yellow?
Kind of yellowish,
it
reddish.
Looks red.
Yeah, I can't tell yet until it fully develops.
Cool,
but yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And if let's see, both the parents would technically be one's lavender, the other one is yellow base. So yeah, genetically it still ties in correctly.
I like this little breakdown you have right here with 4 animals in the right hand corner.
Oh yeah, who sent that to you?
Oh yeah, that was who submitted that one to me, Harry?
Crested Cresties.
Yeah.
Crested Cresties.
So that's interesting to see. So when we were talking about like, do we think there's a difference? I mean, when I look at those 4 animals, I'd say that's the same gene.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, and they're from totally different lines. I mean, I just like the breakdown that they did with these pictures. Like, it really shows that, you know, they're so darn similar. And for me, like, I look at the tail markers a lot as well. Like the tail markers are kind of like good indicators.
Yeah. What I've seen in a lot of pixels is their head structure kind of sucks too. I think there's something to do with the gene that, I'm not saying that can't be fixed, but you rarely see well head structured animals that are pixels. You know, they can be okay.
The non-phantom we have, that head's doing really well. So I hope it stays that way.
This one?
Yeah, that one's doing really well right now. So I'm happy about it.
Yeah. It has a crest.
But you're right. I have seen some with pretty weak structure. I mean, what about the ones that you guys have? The ones that you guys have pretty decent structure on them, though.
It's decent, but it's not like crazy. It's still relatively narrow.
Yeah, you're not looking. Yeah, you're not looking at like the big old floppy crested ones.
See, even this, I mean, it's relatively
average.
Yeah, I'd say it's average, or to me, it's below average. But
I'd say average. I mean, if you're considering that, like, your average is higher on the end of like big old giant floppy crests, but like as far as like the standard for the animal goes, I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, this is garbage. The crest in there. Like,
oh yeah, these are the ones from Geckological, which are like really hypo stacked animals that he's bred these out.
This is interesting. So what would, from a pattern standpoint, what is, because like on this animal, the dorsal isn't really impacted, but the laterals
just
are
on the edges.
So why would that be?
Just the way he has them stacked. I mean, his animals have a lot of cream and patterning.
Have we seen other pixel animals where the back is not impacted?
Yeah.
Let's see. Isn't there like a really cool lily one that's popped up? Go look at the submissions really quick, Harry. So there's some of those in there as well.
Go to where?
And I think Pangea's animals that are being outcrossed to thicker ones, you'll notice that there's real thick cream inside of the dorsum. Here, look at this one right here.
Where's your pointer?
Where my mouse is right there.
Are you guys getting dizzy from me like zooming in and out?
But even that, I mean, the back is still impacted.
Yeah,
like
it is.
All of these have a shared.
Yeah,
they have that stripe down the middle.
Yeah, but Tom's doesn't have it. It doesn't have it at all. Or maybe this one.
I mean, that one has a little more, maybe.
But this one looks like empty. You know, it's like bland.
Yeah, those are hatchlings out of it.
That's just interesting. It is
a really interesting.
That's a difference where I'm like, I don't know. I mean, Or there's such a stack of different things going on that it's masking like a primary characteristic.
Yeah, that could be.
So we don't know.
look at
I mean,
what these doing to those
are we
things.
saying these are pixels or not pixels?
These are possible pixels, but
Okay.
yeah, I think these are pixels just from the way they're looking.
So this is
The way they're breaking up the
possible
patterning.
or probable, but not like, guaranteed.
Not the normal look, at least that we're looking at.
Okay. But that's the hunch.
Are there any het markers for het pixels that we know of?
Not that I know of yet.
Okay.
At least not that's easy enough to like identify and clearly claim like, oh, this is the look that you're looking for it.
Got it. Yeah.
Plus, like, I think since we're currently still kind of learning about it, we're still going off of the phenotype that we can very, very clearly see. So we don't know what like a more subtle version is going to look like, because maybe we haven't really identified it. We haven't played with the gene enough to know whether or not this one for sure we have intentionally outcrossed it. What are the phenotype differences between a het and a normal that isn't, that's produced out of a non-visual, like het to het, right? So you'd want to see that phenotype spread of like 1 to 2 to 1 kind of thing.
That makes sense.
Like there's so much work that still needs to be done in order to
it's just still
identify and outline everything, right? Like look at some of these submissions; they're pretty interesting too.
Let's zoom in. Let's start in the top.
Some of these with cream on them. I mean, they do have the lateral sides, right?
I had names for the people that submitted them, but sorry, they're not all on here. I had them. I actually messaged Anthony about it, but he just literally took the picture.
So start in the top left, Harry. Let's just kind of look through these and just. So that one's Pete's Planet. That's Julie.
That one has an interesting look to it too.
Zoom into that because I
look at the dorsum and the tail.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's like maybe that's a phantom as well, or maybe like it's got that kind of cappuccino-ish look. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, it's got bad head structure. That's a sign.
Julie's gonna hate you now.
It's okay. She can handle it.
Yeah. Thanks, Julie, for the submission. I'm gonna figure it out as in chat actually. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What about some of these other ones? What are your takes on some of these?
I mean, that one's interesting because it also wiped a lot. I mean, it has like almost no lateral pattern.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of more of like almost like a flame or like a pinstripe look that isn't a quad stripe. Because it does seem to be more difficult to make actually pinstriped pixels. Seems like a lot of them are broken up. Like the one that Harry you got from Anthony, the one I produced, they're actually pinstripes, but that's less common, it appears.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of really strong pin pixels. I'm just trying to find names to some of these animals here. Okay, so this group, this right here is from Gecko Nerd from Quincy. So is this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Gecko Nerd has some of these. Oh my god, dog is going crazy.
And he probably got those originally from AC.
I'm guessing so, right? I mean, a lot of people grab their stuff from AC or Pangea.
Unless we know otherwise. Yeah, a lot of people got them from AC, indirect or direct.
Yeah, this one is also Quincy Gecko Nerd. This one's also Gecko Nerd. This one's a pixel, yeah. This one
that one's pretty cool.
Yeah. What about this one? This one is not a pixel. Is it?
I mean, the lily whites are kind of funky. They're kind of hard to.
They're hard to ID, I'd say, if they are pixel or not. There's so many weird things that are happening with Lily. It's hard to know what the heck's going on.
I know Lily can do such crazy things that it's hard to. What about this? What about this yellow one? Is that your picture, Harry?
This one right here?
Yeah.
This one is my. It's not. It came from my Pixel. Yeah. These are the normals that popped out of the
is it?
Pixel mail. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
I mean, it has some weird, funky tail, but
tail markings.
Other than that, I can't really.
So I made probably like a dozen. I popped a dozen babies or so from a Pixel male to normals, and they're all normals.
All normal so far,
so,
or at least hets, right?
Yeah, hets. They all look normal.
So, what's your plan with those, Harry? Are you going to?
I'm holding them.
Hold back females and get an outcross male and try it, or?
Yeah. So they're all just in the hatch room. I'm gonna grow them out, and until we figure out what to do with them, I'll hang on to them. Yeah, until we know what's going on. Let's see. Who's this one? Where's the one from LAC? LAC. Right. These two.
So this gecko, he said, is all the way back from. What did he say to you in the chat? Did he give you some kind of breakdown in the message, Harry? He said it was from like 0809 or something.
0809.
Yeah, these four are from LAC.
That tracks.
Oh, nice. So is that offspring from that female?
He's like, here's an apparent pixel we hatched out in 2009. Young juvenile.
Her
so this is young juvenile and adult photo. Ended up selling her before pairing her up.
So we produced one that looked really similar.
Yeah.
And it was just out of this lavender and cream pairing. And it was the only one that popped out like that. And I told Anthony, I was like, what the heck is this? They shouldn't have produced anything like this. There's no lateral pattern. I was upset. I sold it at a show. And then the ones that we produced are actually part of that lineage, like further down.
Oh.
And then they popped out another one. And I'm like, oh my God.
I know, you gave it up.
It was something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean,
but at the time,
it was so similar to this animal, and the head structure is just atrocious.
I wonder just from seeing how many of these things have popped up, and when we were talking in the pre-lobby, when you were showing in the Rhacodactylus book, how there is apparent pixels all the way back to wild collected or close to wild collected animals.
Yeah, here, let's pull that picture up. Right
how common do you think pixel was in the wild population?
I don't know. It makes me wonder, though. I mean, like, shoot, how many of these animals have we been pairing for all these years that, you know, were possibly something, and we just overlooked it because polymorphism took over. But yeah, it's like really interesting. Like Jessica just remembered that picture before we started this chat, and then when she pulled it out, I was like, no way. And like, you know, it has that look, it has a possible look, so why not?
Yeah,
our animals that we got from Alan and stuff like that, like the animals that we made the pixel from, date back to him, so very possible.
And I'm sure a lot of LAC stuff, you know, originates back to Alan as well. So
yeah, so I mean, like it's tracking
most of our stuff.
It's listed as an unusual peppered orange crested gecko, the peppered morph.
The peppered morph.
Peppered.
Oh, pepper line.
It says
there you go. So we already had a name for this.
Peppered.
It was called peppered.
Pepper line.
The peppered morph may become established in the future.
The peppered morph may become established in the future. Damn, guys.
Oh.
Change this episode name Peppered.
Peppered.
Do it. Yeah, change it to pixel ... or
peppered.
Pepper morph.
What we learned about pixel today. Oh man.
So that's what about this one? This one's Robbie.
This one is Robbie. What do you think of this?
And is that a pixel or is that an outcross animal?
Or an animal that has a phenotype overlap, maybe? You know?
I don't know. That's questionable. I wouldn't say. I mean, that's like right on a fine line. I can kind of see a little bit of.
Yeah.
It's like it looks half pixel, you know.
It's got a funky tail. It's like all sorts of weirdness going on in that animal.
It's got a little bit of that eating of the dorsal, but it's not as apparent as other ones.
Right.
I know Robbie before, and you can confirm, Robbie, I know he watches some of these episodes, that he made a super pixel, but that's before we kind of understood all that, what's what, right? So maybe he was just I think even AC coined things super pixel before it too, right? Because he believes that it's like an incomplete dominant, thrown together. But the stock that I have with one of the males from AJ, they're from AC directly, and I put them to normals, and I got zero visuals. So my take is that it might be recessive, just from my own my experimentation.
It takes time. It takes time to figure that out because it takes generations. So it's
just a leaning. We'll say that. Well, it's a leaning.
Recessive leaning, yes. Everybody's recessive leaning right now.
Recessive leaning. Yeah. So this one is Reags, REAGSTC, Reags TC. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but she submitted this one too. What do you guys think, Pixel?
It's hard to see without seeing the top of the dorsal.
Let me see if there's a better picture. Do we have a better one?
Yeah, there's some like lateral markings and stuff on it.
She submitted more pictures, but I don't think we got them all.
It's hard to know from the side view.
Oh yeah. Okay. This one's also from her. What is this one? I guess it's too pixely to tell if it's pixel.
I mean, that looks more promising.
That one looks more like it. Yeah.
Okay.
That looks like the Pangea stuff.
Yeah, let's go look at the Pangea stuff, see where they're working on. Because it looks very similar.
Oh, here you go.
You zoom in on those guys. I think that the top three are one of the.
Are they Fant?
Good sires.
No, they're not. But the pattern's very muted. The color is very muted.
Yeah.
But look at that. Those kind of have bad head structure too. So.
Yeah, they have some of their tangerine. The one on the left that's red right there with the shirt, that's the one that we purchased from them.
That's pretty cool though.
This one,
orange is cool.
Yeah. I like some of these ones with that real defined stripe down the middle.
Pixel. Cool. Look at the pixel when you zoom in.
This one right here.
Oh, whoops.
That one's cool. I like that.
I like these.
That looks like a hybrid.
Yeah, it does. You're right. That's a good point.
I'm gonna need one of those.
That looks a lot like a hybrid, to be
Bellapensis.
Yeah, Bellapensis hybrid. I'm talking Chihuahua hybrid, but
I know. I'm just being a jerk.
Those are cool though. The color is great. It's so similar to the Cresty Work stuff, so it makes sense that her stuff. She said she got some from Pangea.
Yeah, I want to cross some of these things. It's just going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to have to get myself a zombie, though.
Oh, yeah. You got... Here, you want to show them my first zombie that I hatched?
Yeah.
Okay, let's check it out. So the origin on this was actually one of my animals that I produced out of a breeding with a male that I got from Emily Burke that was... Wally and Midsummer, so it's a collab between Christy and Emily, and I bred it to a female that was unknown lineage that I got from Gabby. But I only produced one in that season, but I think it's a pretty solid example.
I think it's a wicked cool animal.
Yeah, as far as holding a good amount of... Can you zoom in on the pins a little bit, Harry? Because it seems like, it deletes a decent number of the actual pin scales, but it still has enough where it still looks striped. You see that? How it's like it eats the freaking pin scales?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's like every other blotted in there.
Yeah.
That's super cool. That's a really neat example of it.
And it still had
fringe isn't affected at all, huh?
The fringe doesn't appear to be affected. Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
But the
I
lateral
think that's the same for yours, right, Harry? Your fringing? Yeah, go to the left, and you'll see that the leg fringing on yours isn't affected, but the patterning just outside of it is. See?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, that's weird.
I do love that gecko. Something else.
Go ahead.
Something else I've noticed, and it's not on all pixels, but it's definitely like something I see is that it seems like a decent number, a portion of them have some level of, I don't know how to describe this. Structurally, their face is kind of like off. I don't know how to describe it. Like their snouts seem a little short, and they just kind of have like kind of squished facial features a little bit.
Like they're less defined. Maybe it's because they're all babies.
No, I mean even on the adults, like look at Harry's. Like Harry's, I mean I've seen this on a lot of adults too, but like she's got like a more kind of compact face.
Like a shorter nose.
I don't
like
know.
A more stubby nose.
I can't put maybe more rounded. I can't really put like a great
like the bump.
Put my finger on it.
Instead of a shovel concave nose, it's got more of like a rounded tip to it.
Maybe. I don't know. I think you have to look at like adult.
We have a bigger one. Here, look at Kristen's.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying
it's like
all
the bones. It's like the bones that.
Yeah, it's like a bone
nose.
Structure on like on the like in between the eyes down. Those bones.
Yeah, they're rounder instead of a concave shape.
Yeah, like there's just something that's slightly different. And it's not all of them. Like I said, it's not all of them where I feel like it's like an ID.
Here, Harry, go to where my mouse is, and you'll see a frappuccino where the bones on the nose are a little bit more defined.
Well, that's a sable, but
whatever.
Hey, you're looking at features.
Right? I'm looking at the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, where those bones are more like raised and more defined.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's the concave bone structure there.
Like go back to your female Harry. And I've seen this on a lot of them, but it's just less defined,
So just something to keep an eye on. Might be
and I don't even know if it's
a marker.
Yeah, I don't know if it's even like a deformity, or like, is it a deformity? Is it just like a structural thing that kind of goes along also with like the head structure piece? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never really technically noticed it. I kind of just chalked it up to the weird patterning and, the shadows that we normally see on them. But maybe you're right.
Yeah, I mean, keep an eye. Like, I've noticed it with a few, so just maybe keep an eye on it when you're looking at them.
Well, they are intercrossed, so if it's recessive.
Yeah. That's true.
I'm trying to pull up a few on Instagram.
You should pull that lily white one up,
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that one was cool.
Oh, whoops. Okay, well, let's show this one.
This is the one.
Oh, yeah. Brian hatched one. Isn't that thing awesome?
So he popped it out of 2 patterned animals, and it popped the pixel, right? It's pixel?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it. Definitely fits the phenotype.
Yeah. So people are just popping random pixels. I mean, like they pop random, a lot of random
Imagine naming something peppered in 2006 and people rediscover it in 2024 and then
everybody
call it
has a
totally
pixel.
Different.
No, that wouldn't happen.
2003. I'm sorry, you're right. It would happen in 2003.
Elusive Gecko also submitted this. I don't think it was up there, but she submitted a similar picture to this. Is this a possible pixel? What do you guys think? She had possible on this one, July 7th.
Hard to tell on that one.
I'd say possible, or
not sure.
I lean more towards, I don't know. I lean more towards no. It has more of that kind of like what people used to refer to as like chevron pattern.
Oh, here, this is the picture.
Would you agree, Anthony?
Yeah, that's more. It definitely has a chevron patterning in it.
Less pixelation.
Yeah, it's almost there. As soon as those connect down the middle, then boom, 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 you get a chevron.
Chevron.
Take a look at this one.
Awesome.
That picture has a chevron with peppered.
Oh,
Her
and the
pages
cool.
are falling apart here. Good luck.
Pull this up big screen, Harry.
Big screen, where we at?
That thing.
Anthony
I
and
think
Jess.
it's gorgeous.
Oh,
Are they showing something?
Yeah, they're going to show us something.
Okay. Anthony and Jess, let's see it.
Peppery. I mean, that kind of does look like a pixel. If you look at the laterals, especially.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I didn't even realize these pictures were in here of these animals that look like that. I don't even remember peppered at all.
Peppers.
When are we going to do Morph Chat, Moon Glows? Let's bring Moon Glows back again. Come on.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I have a moonflower.
Harry, to give you a history lesson, back in the day on like the Pangea forums and everything,
yeah,
the most common thing you'd see, like that was kind of like roll your eyes at. It's like every 3 months somebody'd post a photo of like a yellow gecko or a red gecko that was really fired down, and they'd shoot it with like extremely high exposure to make it look white. And they'd be like, guys, I've got a moon glow, I'm breeding it, and I'm working on figuring out how to, recreate it and sell the offspring. And just I swear it was like every few months that would happen. And
everybody had a moon glow. I when I first got in, then I saw it a couple of times that someone had a moon glow.
Nobody does it anymore, really, though.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Anthony and Jess. Oh,
no,
battery.
They lost a battery. No.
Do they have the unlimited battery packs like we use?
They got to get the dummy battery like us.
I know, man.
I'm sure we'll get them.
What is that? Okay, so what is this one? Baby little speckle line.
So it looks to be a lily white pixel. Okay. I mean, if you look at the picture where you can see the tail, look at the tail. That's so cool. Yeah. Like especially on lily whites, a lot of times they'll have a solid unicolor tail. Other than the phantoms can have a decent amount of pattern, the phantom lily whites, but normally lily whites will have very minimal tail pattern or color. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay, let me see any other submissions. So we got Brian, Elusive Gecko. Gecko Diva submitted some stuff, but I don't see it on here. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Pull it up.
I'm sure we'll get a lot of comments and engagement on this. Because I think this is one of those things where a lot of people are,
sensitive about
working on it or have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see kind of the conversation that comes out of it.
I could show you. I think it's too washed out too.
Are you showing me a moon glow right now? What is that?
It's Gecko Diva's submission of
Why don't you can you pull it up on your screen?
I don't know. I can.
On Instagram? Did she IG send it to you?
Yeah, on the Gecko Pod. But I'm not connected to the Gecko Pod on here.
Oh, you're on your Zeros account?
Let me see. Yeah, let me see if it's if she has it on here. Is it?
They're back.
Hey, welcome to the Gecko Pod.
I totally forgot to plug the camera in.
Well, let's look at the Let's look at this.
Can you guys hear us still?
Yeah,
we can hear you fine.
Cool.
Let's look at this one, AJ. I know Crested Cresties submitted a few. So I think he's trying to specialize in pixels. And what are some thoughts on some of these? Let's say what are the ones he submitted?
That one looks probable.
Does it look okay?
This one?
The one in the middle.
Oh, this one?
That one.
Yeah. It looks similar to
Pixel
a
female
little bit
lavender.
similar to my girl. Oh, it's an AC, so it's maybe they're siblings. I don't know. I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
checked.
that one's wicked cool.
So he has an AC pixel female. This one looks similar to.
That's probably similar to how mine will look when it grows out. I'd imagine.
Lavender, soft scale, tangerine, snowflake. Hey, well, everything's going on in this.
Dang, that's one of those AC descriptors.
AC has like the longest descriptions that he puts on every single trait.
Het for Moonglow.
Funny. What about some of these? This one's pixel. AC super pixel.
Yeah, I mean, it looks kind of chevron-y, but I could see that being a pixel.
If you look at the laterals, like the belly markings.
Yeah, it looks. I would say pixel too. Look at the head though. It looks like you're female, Harry.
Well, my female's a little bit wider.
No, I'm not saying structure. Like I'm talking about like the kind of like the eyes and the nose and like.
Oh, you're looking right here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just similar facial features.
Yeah. Here's a Pangea one.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Classic Pangea.
Yeah, I can't wait to see all these things crossed with each other and see how it works out. You know.
I think that's the next step, right?
Yeah.
Crossing all these lines together.
Yeah.
Have you guys sold many of those out into the wild?
Pixels?
Yeah.
Hats?
Yeah. Probably a lot of hats.
Yeah. Like a metric ton of them. Yeah. Like yeah.
Hats. So people will be popping pixels randomly, like Brian.
Like me. I see a lot of people. That happens to a lot of people where they just randomly pop one out and it's like, what's this thing? What's this ugly thing? Because it's like you were saying, Jess, before. It's like you'll see it and you're like, this is nothing like the pairing that should have been the parents. They look nothing like this.
Yeah.
So
for sure, it shocked me, and I was like, get it out of here.
Wholesale it.
Yeah.
What about
and it's something that you normally might not even want to like continue breeding. Like most of the time, if you see these things, you're not going to tell anybody. You don't publish it. You don't share it online, and then you either unpair the animals or try something different, right?
So what would you say from seeing kind of the spread of animals here that carry the gene? What would you say the strength of the gene is as far as usability in the future for projects?
I think there's a lot to work with. I think there's a lot to be done.
Pattern manipulation.
Yeah.
So
and how it works with different colors.
So what would you say its strength would be? Like, it seems like it plays really well with those kind of like unicolor, like, orange plus black, orange plus lavender, like where you have more simple but high coverage animals.
Yeah, high contrast. Anything that to create like a lot of contrast and broken up patterning, right? Like a lot of the examples that we're looking at, a lot of them are pinned, right? But if you look at some of the Pangea ones that are like more triple Xy, like what would a tigered version of that look like if you added more coloration, more patterning, and secondary patterning, right?
Mm-hmm. Like if you made like good versions of like white wall tricolor, Harlequin pixels.
Yeah, like we have one animal that I suspect could possibly be pixel, but I haven't even gotten close to trying to prove it out yet, because I didn't have a pixel until we hatched our own line of him. But he would be like a really nice tricolor. I guess send it to Harry. Maybe you can pop him up.
Yeah, I just sent it to you guys.
Okay, would you send it to?
The Gecko Pod.
Gecko Pod.
Can you send it to my account?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just because.
Like if that were a pixel, or you could
that Pangea one on the bottom right of the Pangea section. Can we zoom in on that one? Like that, I feel like is a good example of usage of the gene and
hold on, give me a second.
A multi-color, base color, second color. Like that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, this is what what your zombie looks like, kind of, right? Like,
yeah.
How cool would those animals be if you added, like, let's say your zombie grows up a little bit more, and it also has orange patterning within. Like, what if the holes that are there fill in with orange patterning while there's white patterning around it? Like,
That would be cool.
more than likely, Pixel will affect different colors of pattern in different ways, right? Because we already know those color patterns affect each other in different ways. So, like, what would it look like on lilies? The more you push that gene into other genes that have like high contrast patterning like that, I think that's where it'll really shine.
Yeah. Cool thing about this animal is it's got, it kind of came out of that Emily Burke stuff. So I expect it'll gain a decent amount of white pattern as well. Just from what I'm seeing on the lower lats, I think it'll develop pretty well.
Yeah, I can see it there on the lats. It looks pretty cool. I think you're gonna have to bring this one to Anaheim.
maybe the next one.
Dripping.
Let me share.
Dripping pixels.
Yeah.
So like the Matrix. But like, imagine this animal, but with more holes in it. Like something like that, I think would be really cool and interesting.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I love
because you can see the patterning in the back, like on the base of his butt.
Yeah,
like it's all broken up and a little flecks of white everywhere. Like you shot paint at it like that. That's what it looks like.
It's just a static line.
Static line.
There's the static line right there.
I go in with acid. I like static though.
Acid. Acid's cool.
Like acid wash jeans or like the splatter.
Yeah.
Splatter line.
Constantine submitted one to us, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look over here. This is, what do you guys think of this pixel?
It's pretty pixelated.
It's pretty pixelated. Got a nice doff in the background too.
It's looking at what its heart desires.
It has drool. It's like drooling.
It's drooling. What's it drooling for, Harry? What is it?
Sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. What is this?
Is that the beef and cheddar?
It's a double beef and cheddar Arby's.
That's the half-pound beef and cheddar.
Oh, the half-pound. Oh my god! You can't even put this. You can't even put this in your mouth.
No,
So
but that gecko is gonna try. I don't know how it's got Morpheus's sunglasses on.
Constantly just Googled this. Google Pixel and found the first picture.
That's so funny.
What do you guys have planned for your Pixel projects, like for the future? What are you guys trying to do with them?
I'm gonna try to put a lot of white on them.
Typical.
I'm gonna try to put a lot of white and like secondary color, like orange. Probably orange. Okay. I think it would play better with orange than yellow. But
gotcha.
Harry,
super stripe it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't have like a lot of strong.
I'm doing super stripes.
Strong things to do with it. Yeah.
No. You got triple hets going on there. Super het super stripe, het pixel, het empty back.
Everybody, I've been seeing people don't like when empty back is called het empty back. Speaking
yeah.
They want empty back and super empty back, right?
They want empty and super empty. But the funny thing is, so I've tried to sell them that way. But then when you sell a het empty as an empty back, you know what the number one thing people say is? That's not an empty back. So anyone who sells empty backs will understand the pain.
But
when you go empty,
before het, it was just super stripe and then nothing.
I mean, yeah, when I wrote those portions of the book, I didn't want to like come up with all new names for everything. So I was like, if we stick to what's in the hobby, then one, you fix the language because everybody uses het to equal recessive, which is incorrect.
Yeah.
Right? Just means one gene. It's like my number one slogan. I should get a shirt, het equals one gene, not
one copy of the gene. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like the other thing is that I didn't want to just like create a shit ton of extra names for people to have to then remember.
Yeah.
Rather, I just wanted to see how the hobby could kind of like evolve, just keeping all the names the way they were, but like defining them genetically.
Actually means different.
Salud.
It means different. Translates to one.
Yeah,
One
it's
is
interesting.
different than the other.
I don't know the best way to do the naming structure for empty back, but it seems like you can't win with it.
Yeah, there's no winning. I 100% agree.
You say hat, everybody's like, it's recessive, and then you say empty and super empty, and they go, that's not an empty back.
Super empty back is the empty back, but the empty back is the head empty back. I mean, no wait. And then they confuse themselves.
You just gotta call it like, what do you even call it? Call the super an empty back, and call the hat like a partial empty back. What the heck do you call it?
Empty backish.
I think the more you guys talk about it like this, the more it helps, because people begin to understand the language, and so keep talking about it. I think it's good.
Yeah.
But to be determined depends on what you breed it to.
Yes.
Prove it out.
Prove it out.
Prove it out. Give it a few seasons.
Yeah. We'll give a plug for ourselves, because where are we all going this weekend? We're wrapping up the episode.
Super Show.
Hey, that's your backyard.
Anaheim Reptile Super Show, baby. Come check us out.
How was the Pomona show for you guys? It was good.
It was great.
It was only 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
It's funny how Rami does it back to back. I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But somebody was telling us, I don't know if it was you, Anthony, or if it was somebody else. They were saying that with how little people want to drive because of like how bad traffic is and whatnot, that it almost feels like separate markets, even though it's only an hour away from each other.
No, they are.
Well, it's different county too. So the people that come through are different.
Yeah.
And they're looking for different things. And
like Anaheim's close enough to like San Diego where you can make the trip, right? And you can do it in a reasonable time. But Pomona to Anaheim, there's enough traffic and multiple freeways that you have to exchanges that you have to go through, that at that point you're like, I'm not going to do the Pomona show. I'll go to the Anaheim one. And like I talked to plenty of people that are local breeders that'll be like, I'm not going to do the Pomona show because it's a little too far, or I'm not going to do the Anaheim show because it's a little too far.
That's so funny though, because here people drive like 4 hours to go to a Repticon.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
people drive like 4 hours to go to a show with like 40 booths.
The Pomona venue to the Anaheim venue is like 45 minutes if there's no traffic.
For us.
It's like nothing. It's so crazy.
But what I think what people are sick of in California is like crazy traffic. Like even if it's like an hour away, but you have to like sit in traffic the entire time, it's like is miserable.
My mind was blown.
I think mentally driving for an hour at 10 miles per hour is totally different than driving for an hour at 75 miles per hour.
Yeah, when Harry and I last time we were out there, we went to he was taking me back to the airport, and it was like we were like 7 miles away, Harry, and we were an hour away.
Because we were trying to get into LAX, so LAX is like insane, right? So,
I was just, my mind was blown.
So think of that doing that every day, AJ.
Then if that meant that I had to drive through that to get to a show, I probably wouldn't go either. I'd take it back.
Right.
Yeah.
But so we're going to the show this weekend.
We're going to the show. We AJ and I we have an 8-table island, and Rami just called me at first. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna put you in front. All right, we'll give you a little more space." I'm like, "Oh hell yeah!" We'll get in front. 8-table island. AJ and I will be there. Brett, a couple other people, and we're all just gonna gather up, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. The islands are in the front.
Yeah.
And then you guys have kind of a super booth too, right? We got
4 tables and another 4 tables with a friend of ours. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We have 4 tables. No, because they're not doing Anaheim, so it's just 4 tables.
Oh, they're not. Oh,
yeah,
okay, so
they just do the Pomona one.
I forgot about that.
So
there'll be 4 tables with us, but we have Gecko Kai, Crested Cuties, and Alicia's coming from Rogue.
Yep.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah. Yep. So
she's from Canada. Yeah. She's coming from Canada.
Canada, yeah.
Wow.
Cool. Commitment.
Yeah, it'll be good to see.
Yeah.
For real. International.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
You know what we should do?
There's
We
so
should
many people.
fuse into a 16 booth island. With
You know, let's get enough where we can take half the show over in one under one name.
Oh my gosh, that'd be cool.
It'll be under your name, so you guys have to do all the deal with everything.
You have to do all the paperwork
Easy peasy.
and collect all the money and
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Some people aren't gonna pay.
What would we call it?
Gecko Land.
Super.
The Gecko Pod and Associates.
Gecko Pod and Associates.
Dino Market. Oh no, that's our actual.
Oh, that's already taken.
Those are actual Korean breeders.
Cresto Market.
It'll be good. I think it'll be fun. Anaheim is good.
It'll be good.
Nice and happy.
The Geckoteers.
Geckoteers.
The 74 Geckoteers.
So we're recording this on a Tuesday, but by the time you guys see this, it'll be Thursday.
We'll be in California.
Yeah, Thursday we'll be traveling. We'll be traveling towards California. I mean, not you towards California.
You guys are flying Thursday?
Yeah.
AJ's flying Thursday. So is Brett. I'm driving down Thursday after lunch or so. It takes a few hours.
You're driving?
Yeah, man. I gotta bring all my stuff. I'm not gonna fly
It's
over.
hot.
You're
I know.
Crazy.
How is that crazy?
SoCal's not bad.
It's like an 8-hour drive.
6 hours is not bad. Like it's
6?
yeah.
You're not getting here in 6 hours. You're getting here in 8 hours. I don't believe you.
It's like depends on what time you leave.
Nah.
Harry's
I
done
always
it. Like
drive
every
down to
time he comes
SoCal.
down to these shows, he's driving. So
98 miles per hour.
Yeah,
Get
that's
here
true.
in 6 hours.
no.
I drive 90 down Highway 5. It's a straight shot.
Oh shoot! All right, that'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
We'll do some
We'll hang
dinners
out.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We're not doing dinner. Are we doing? At the last, all right. So at the last podcast, I said, "All right, everyone, we're gonna go."
Anyone who wants to go to dinner with
We'll
us.
start pinging you, right, Jess? So are we? Not?
And then we broke the restaurants when we did that.
Oh
so.
no!
Yeah, I can't buy out a whole restaurant, guys. For
Okay, so Anaheim is really hard to add people because it's next to Disney and dinner time gets really busy. So we actually made the reservations. We had to split it. So we have 2 reservations for one place.
Yeah.
We made it in like April in order to make the table like work. So. But Pomona is different. The Pomona show is different because we go to Gus's barbecue and they just like last time they just like, oh yeah, we'll fit like 20 more people, no problem.
Yeah. Because you could sit outside too. But for
Yeah,
Anaheim,
Pomona's
like
different. Anaheim's crazy. It gets
If you're not already going to dinner and you want to go, you can probably try to get a table at the same restaurant.
just show up and try to sit down on your own, and then if
and they
not,
have a
then-
bar there. They have really good margaritas. So
yeah, dude, the tacos are amazing.
Is it Jess? Is this the one where we try to go?
Where we failed last time?
Yes, that would be the one. That you mean the one that you were supposed to book reservations for?
Yeah, that was my
Oh
bad.
yes, that's right. I remember
with that
one.
reservations on the weekends, like a 2-hour wait, but the bar
It was like a 4-hour wait.
I was like, we'll be good, Jess. We'll be good.
They're like, yeah, we could get you in for dinner at like 11 p.m. We're like, what?
Yeah, you get sat and then it's like last call.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
Oh
was.
man, yeah, that's wild. Sorry, that's my bad. But we ended up going to pizza and it was fine. We kind of split up a little bit,
But
Yeah.
this year
Yeah, pizza was
we've got redemption at the taco place. It's happening.
Yeah, it's happening this
It's
year for
happening.
sure.
but
Bring your appetites.
we can't promise. We can't promise that everyone will get in, but you can try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can all try.
You can all
I
try.
can only do so much.
I apologize. Now.
All right, guys. The Gecko
If
Pod.
you can't get in, it's Jess's fault.
It's not my fault. It's in Anaheim.
If you can't get in, just DM Jess LMR.
Savage.
I'm totally kidding. Don't
Her,
bother
not
Jess.
me.
Do not bother Jess or Anthony. Like we'll try.
You can come to the booth. I'll give you a candy bar.
Yeah, come to the booth. Let's chat. We'll talk about pixels more.
Yeah.
We can
You know
grab
what we should do? After you release this episode, we should follow up on go to the Discord and then we'll do like a chat room thing on the episode or something afterwards.
That sounds cool.
talk about the
Yeah. I'll pop in and do some stuff. We'll do some Q&A and
We'll do a
stuff on
little
there. It'll be cool.
episode talk after people listen.
Yeah, I'm down.
Even if they do it in the chats below of the pod, the IG, we can chat a little bit on there too. No, probably
Yeah.
Discord better, huh? Okay.
Discord's better.
Okay.
Yeah, Discord.
Discord.
Cool, guys.
Sounds
Let's
good.
do it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thanks,
We're an
guys.
hour in. You guys have any final closing thoughts on Pixel besides we're working on it?
It's probably not incomplete dominant.
We're leaning. Nah, Jess says.
I said probably.
Jess says, don't say it.
I said it's probably not.
We're
leaning towards.
Yeah,
That's
I want
the
zombie,
same thing.
So I want to cross zombie with acid.
We'll figure it out. I think by next season, next 2 seasons, we'll have a much bigger picture of better picture of what it is.
Yes.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
Hang tight. Awesome. Well, thank you guys, Anthony and Jess. We appreciate you like always, and we look forward to the next Morph Chat. Hopefully, in another month or so, we can come up with something awesome. And AJ, any final things before we say goodbye? And see you
I think the show will be good.
Yeah.
I think that I think that there's a lot of new stuff coming for the pod soon. So keep a lookout, and we'll be making new stuff for you.
Awesome. For anyone going to Anaheim, say hi to Jess and Anthony. Say hi to me and AJ and the gang. And we're happy to hang out and chat with you guys. So appreciate you all. We love you all. And we'll see you guys at the show and on the next one.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.